Introducing Face Adapter for pre-trained diffusion models. Face Adapter offers precise control over ID and attributes for seamless face editing, perfect for reenactment and swapping tasks. Efficient, effective, and easy to use. Upgrade your face editing toolkit with Face Adapter now.
Right, so there is a base repository, that is the face adapter, that is available, and then there is a Hugging Face demo. However, the problem is the files are not synced in both of these, and Hugging Face demo have more features than the version that is on GitHub. So what I did was I compiled the changes and created this new repository, which we will be using for installation. So the first step is to navigate to a folder where you want to install and launch the command prompt by typing cmd in address bar and press enter. Then start following these steps. So first we are going to clone the repository. Next step, we are going to clone the checkpoints. So for that, go inside the cloned repository, that is Face Adapter Windows. Enter a new command prompt by typing cmd in the address bar and press enter. So you should see the clone repository folder. Then first command is git lfs install. So paste this in the command prompt and press enter. Once this is installed, then use this command to clone all the checkpoints in the checkpoints directory from this Hugging Face location. So paste this command and press enter. Now the next step is we need to download the pre-trained models. So we are going to download two models. To start with this, we need to create two folders. So one is runway ML. Navigate to the cloned directory and in the root folder create runway ML, and then second folder is Frank Joshua. Now open these links in the browser and download one of the save tensor file. So I will go with emmaonly.savetensors, and we need to save it in the runway ML directory. And make sure you save this file with the name stable-diffusion-v1-5.savetensors. So save it. Similarly, repeat this step for two new. So open this link in the browser and download this checkpoint in the Frank Joshua folder. Copy this path. Then click on download and save it in the directory and save. Now let's continue with the installation. We did these steps initially because this is what is going to take a lot of time. Now we go back to the same command prompt which we used to clone the repository. Next we will navigate inside the clone folder. Now it's time to create the virtual environment. Next step is to activate the virtual environment. Now it's time to install the requirements. So copy this first command. Always make sure that virtual environment is active before proceeding with the installation of requirements. Otherwise, these will be globally installed in your machine. Next, install the remaining requirements. Now we will wait for this installation to complete and all the files which were mentioned in step 2 and 3 to be downloaded. This completes the installation. So we'll close this command prompt and launch a new command prompt. Now, each time we want to use this tool, we have to activate the virtual environment. So the command for that is venv scripts activate. Now, the command to launch the web UI is python app.py. Now this is going to download some additional files. Let's wait for the download to complete. So once all the dependencies are downloaded, it will start caching the examples at the following location. So if you want to complete this process, then let's wait for all the examples to be cached. If you want only one example, so in that case, what we can do is let's wait for the first one to complete and then we can stop the server and start again. So this is where the caching process for the first example is complete. Now it's going to start this process for the second example. Now you can either wait for all the 4 examples to finish, or you can close the server by pressing Ctrl C, which will interrupt the process. And now we can launch the server again. So python app.py is the command that we can execute again to launch the server. Now the server is up and running on the local URL. So what we can do is we can copy this URL and open in the browser window. So this is the interface where we have option to upload a source image, reference or target image. Then we have some advanced options here, like which base model we want to select. It is recommended to use this crop ratio. Now you can decrease or increase the sample steps and guidance scale. Also, you can choose the seed. Now schedulers, there is no option to select it in the existing UI. And if you want to use the fixed seed, then basically uncheck this, otherwise use randomized seed. Now we looked at the caching process of example. So these are the examples. So if we select the first example, that's where we will see the output. So this process, the earlier process which we interrupted, was basically generating the output for all of these examples. So this is the output based on this source image and the reference image. Now, if we select the second example, it will not work. And it will come up with an error, list index out of range, because we interrupted the process after the first example. Processing is completed. So we go to the cloned repository, and then there is an example folder and a source folder where we have some reference images that are available. So let's try to use some of these images. I will keep this base model as stable diffusion -1 -5, and we will also try with the second option. I will okay, I will keep it 30 sample. I will keep the default settings for this demo. Then we can click on submit. So the processing is complete and it has transferred the poses in both the images. Now let's try the same thing with a different model, two new beta sets. So select the model and click on submit. The processing is finished and output looks really great. So you can try and play around with different settings and try using different base models as well. Also, I came across this post on GitHub. So some people have mentioned that the output does not look so great. So the authors have mentioned that it has been trained on this specific data set and it contains fewer Asians. So in that case, they have recommended that you should use an Asian base model. Thank you.